I think we're live. I think we're live. Hello, Jam Stars. Well, this was a very. I woke up and I thought I'd do a live. Well, I was going to do a video, but I thought I'd go live, and I can see there we have a couple of people. We have a couple of Jam Stars in the Jam Stars corner. So welcome. So this is it's it. We're doing it. I wasn't sure if anyone would show up only because you didn't have much notification. Um, so if I could just quickly get a hi from someone in the comments, I just want to make sure that the audio is working. I assume it is because I did see the levels moving, so I'm sure that the audio is working. So I just wanted to catch up with the Jam Stars. I wanted to do a video, but sometimes it's easier to do a live because there's no editing involved. Great. Thank you, Just a Jen. So I just thought it would be good, it'd be fun to sort of have a little bit of a catch up and just this, there's been a lot happening, and I just wanted to share some thoughts and some observations. So, does anyone of the Jam Stars that are here, does anyone have a question or anything they want to make a comment? Because it's quiet, like there's not that many people. I can sort of do that now, because otherwise when there's a lot of people, once we get started, I won't be sort of really looking at the comments because it's a little bit, I'm male and I find it very difficult to multitask. All right. But let's go. I'm just going to prepare. Look, there's a couple of things. I did a little video, and I think what we'll do is we'll run through those photos. I know a lot of people have. Let me just pop it up on the screen. Because I want to talk to you about the summer holiday vacation, the holiday pics, and what I don't know. Okay, before we start, can I just say, you now know me quite well. You know that whatever I say, whatever we're talking about, there's no fact in it. Like these are my opinions, things that I feel, things that I see, things, I sort of come up with a little conclusion of my own. Now, that doesn't mean that what I'm saying is really happening. But all I ask of you is to please use your own intuition and look at it from your perspective, from the angle that you can see it, and just question, what with your feeling, what you feel. So we're not saying anything is real. We're not accusing anyone of anything. We're just kind of looking at possibilities and asking questions. Right. So the first thing with anyone, and what's the thought that comes to my mind is we are presented with some pictures and we are asked to believe something of those pictures, or to tie some well, obviously when someone sends you some pictures, they want you to see something, correct? Like they want you to, they send you a picture and they say, here, oh yeah, you can see the cursor. Here they say summer holiday. So they send you some pictures and the word prompt summer holiday, and you in your mind are then asked to conclude that what you are looking at happened on a summer holiday, correct? That's what my interpretation of that is. What I think, what I feel about sometimes these pictograms, I call them pictograms, they're like modern hieroglyphics. That in the picture, the hieroglyphics of it is that these images are kind of put together to say something, and only the people that understand the language of the hieroglyphs understand exactly what's going on. And I think that I really feel, in my opinion, that this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a scribe of images who puts together images to communicate. Now, what I would like to workshop today, or maybe start asking the question, is who are the hieroglyphs intended for? Now, some may feel that the hieroglyphs are an intention that's spelt out. Jam is one of those people that feels like there's more to it than just a picture. So together we will go through these. As you know, I did do a little video about, actually it was a 3-part series looking at this in a sort of poetic, with a poetic narrative. But there are some things that I want to, and maybe we can discuss, and maybe I will look at the comments while we do this, because I would like to know your thoughts about it. Now, let's start with the first picture. How are we all feeling? Are we all feeling good? Are we all feeling like ready to workshop? Let's have a look at, some of the things that, and it's probably nothing, it's probably really, really stupid. Now, when I look at this photo, there's a couple of things that really jump out at me, and I don't know why they do, but they just does. The first thing that jumps out at me, is that this plate that's actually in the center, on the central axis, like it's exactly in the center of the photo. So we have 2 placemats. Now, see the edge of the table. Can you see that, Jam Stars? There's the edge of the table. I don't know if, I'm hoping you can see this, but what I would encourage you to do is, as we're talking, like, you can later have a look at these yourselves, like go into where I'm asking you to focus. I want you to focus. There's a couple of things that are very interesting in this photo. See, there's a table's edge. You can see the table's edge. It's at a really weird angle to me. To me, the angle is apparent because of the placemats. So this placemat sits right near the edge of this dinner table. This plate, now I know plates have a curve, so we have to make an allowance for that. But it does seem strange to me that this plate is higher, significantly higher. It's not a bowl, it's a dinner plate, and it's higher than the placemat. But my first question is, why is the plate in the center and not, if they've just eaten, why is the plate not on the placemat? So this would suggest to me that the placement of the plate is very important to this composition of this image, because otherwise the plate, if this is a casual dinner, like you've just had lunch, the plates would be on the placemat. I know I'm making a really big deal of it. I know. I think the thing that draws my jam eye is the athame, the silver blade that's on the knife and its position. I find it strange that there is no, before I say it, I better just check. I can see, well, to me, it might be cutlery, but I'm not exactly sure. But there's no cutlery on the plate. This looks like a plate that, I don't know, you tell me in the comments, does that look like a plate that have they finished eating, or are they about to start eating? I don't, the energy in the energy of this photo doesn't suggest to me finished eating. Sorry, starting to eat. Because you know, when you start to eat, when you arrive at a place, or when you're a little bit more formal. I think the other thing that suggests that to me is that the wine is almost finished. So the celebration, the wine, you know, the dining has gone through some stages. Like, it's not brand new. They just haven't arrived. They've been, and also the relaxed nature of the arm around the chair it feels like they've been there for a while. It's relaxed. Now, I've talked to you about athame, I've talked to you about plate. Now, the thing that's very strange to me is if I follow this line, the edge of the table, and we go, so it meets here. Notice how this placemat, and there's a fuzzy black edge around it. This placemat is actually, I should do this in Photoshop for you, or in Illustrator, because we could draw guidelines, and I'll tell you that the perspective, this to me, to my eye, this placemat has been placed here, but it's higher than this placemat. Do you get a feeling of that? Like, can you see what I'm saying? That they're not on the same level. And it's an optical illusion. Like, if I was to draw a line, I would say that this line is sitting above the table line. Now, when you look at that line, the edge of this placemat and the edge of this placemat, this plate is even higher. Now, I think, and the other thing, and the reason why, this is spur of the moment, this is as we go, right? So this is, I think I might have to do a video where we do this in Illustrator, and I will draw lines, because I think you need to see the perspective. This plate is sitting higher, but see how the edge, like, I'll follow my I'm going to draw the I'll put the cursor along. So I'm going along the edge of the plate. So the edge of the table is here. Now notice how this plate, and there's the edge right there. You can see it. If I zoom, well, like as I zoom in, like I will have to zoom in when I do the video. See the edge here? This plate is really, it's either higher than the table or it's pushed right to the edge. And if that's the case, how can you possibly put your arm on the edge of the table with this plate here? This plate is covering something. And this placemat is also covering something. There's something here she didn't want you to know, like it didn't look right. I think the person who put this photo together in Photoshop or in whatever program they use, the AI, they wanted to create a base. They wanted to create a foundation, and they popped these in, but they didn't, it's not perfection. They didn't place it. So her arm, what I'm saying to you, Jam Stars, is that her arm could be on the edge of the table. But the AI or the interference has placed these objects. They've placed the objects there to make it, I think they placed it there to look like lunch or to look like there was a meal. I have a feeling, it's my feeling that, and I'm going to just ask the card, I have a feeling that this was made to look like lunch, casual, but it wasn't. I also have my jammy jam sensibility. You know where I'm going to go. Like, you know, people look at this and really focus on other. That's what I believe that's what she would hope, is that you wouldn't notice. You wouldn't really notice what it's all about. But this is, in my opinion, it's all about the watch and the jewelry, as it always has been, as ever, forever, whatever. It's always been about the watch. It's always been about the watch because the watch and the bracelet, in my opinion, are containers that hold significance. And the person that they are connected to, the person that may be trapped, contained, the energy, it's very important that that energy is in the center of the photo. So within these photos, always check what sits in the center. What is the focal point? And the focal point is that gold jewelry. And we know whatever, like I know it doesn't really matter at this point. It doesn't matter where the watch was from or who. It matters more to me the intention behind it. Whether it is the watch, whether it's not the watch. We know that the bracelet has screws in it. The watch is a timepiece, and the whole gig has been about altering time, altering reality, my truth, my reality, and convincing you that to agree with her narrative. I don't know whether the Chanel jumper, if it's a cardigan. I don't know if it is Chanel. It probably is. I'm not quite sure about the Chanel cardigan. My feeling is there's something about it, but I'm not 100% sure. The other thing that I'm not 100% sure of is I've told you the thing that jumps out to me, and this is purely like my interpretation. One is wine and one is this object here, and just go with me. Just allow me to go with this, because I have mentioned knots and the buckle of Isis, and when I saw this, it looks, well, to me, it just reminds me of the buckle of Isis, the actual buckle of Isis. And it feels like it also is, it reminds me of the eye of a needle. So one of the things that I thought, that what she loves to play with reflection, and she loves to play with wine and shadows. So, and this is why I'm just going to park the buckle of Isis and the needle. There's something I need to really think about that. It just seems that if these are plonked, then that is plonked and that is plonked. Because the other thing, if you just work with me here and have a think yourself, if that's the edge of the table, and as we're getting closer to us, this is a very, very tall glass of wine. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's the table, and the table's running towards us. If there was a glass of wine on the table, it would be, I would imagine, it would be down here. Like, you wouldn't really see it. I believe that this glass of wine was placed there at a level that our eye is drawn. So it draws us, follow the cursor. Our eye is drawn into the composition up through the glass to a level that's aligned with what's it aligned to. Now, my good friend Happink has actually mentioned the negative space. I too am drawn to this negative space, but I can't, at this point in time, I haven't seen what that is. Now, let me just say that on my screen, when I'm looking at my screen, I can see me, I can see hello, I can see me, and I can see the screen next to me split, how you're looking at it. So at a distance, I can see this up close on my screen, on my second screen, and from a distance, I can see it from a distance. And from a distance, the blur, like it's not as sharp. The blur helps to maybe see other things, other details in the photo. Now, one thing that I'm very conscious of in reflections is the images that are cut, like images that may be played with. Excuse me. So that glass, again, I haven't really delved into the reflections of the glass. I just have a feeling that that there's something. I'm not going to say there's something there. I don't know. There may not be. I think the glass is really the framing, is the device to lead you into, is the device that leads you into the picture. It also leads you. So this is why I think it's a composition. This is why I think it's a composition. My eyes led through the glass. I follow this black path here. I follow the black path which leads to his face, right? To the smile. His eyes, then I'm drawn to his eyes. Now his eyes are looking at something over here. He's not looking at me, he's looking at something here. So I go up into his eyes and then across. I hit her head. I see that knob, which makes me, there's something about that. Is she olive oil from Popeye? I don't know. Like something about this bun. I need to think about it. There's something about this bun that it's not quite right. And anyway, as we go, am I seeing? No, there's no comments. Yeah, so bun, then we go down to her hand and we're back to the center and we're led now, we follow the athame, because this is another thing, this button really draws my attention. So I go, that's the route I follow. I'm going down the arm. I go back to this, I keep looking at this button, but then I notice the shine of the athame and then I'm led back to the glass. So see how it creates this loop? That's what we try and do in paintings, to keep our eye moving in the image. So to me, this is it's a composed image, pictogram, painting, whatever you like to call it. Let's have a look. I just wanted to ask about this picture. Excuse me for oh, card fell. There's a plan, an idea, a planned wish, that a creative idea in the early stages. Like it's early, I would say, yeah. Well, it is the first photo. It's the preparation for you to follow. So I think from what I was saying earlier, that could be what we're looking at here, a preparation, something, a bit of a joke. Like it does feel like a joke, like that there's humor here. What are their intentions? What is the wish? So I think this is a tool to help help move the wish along. Let's go to the second photo. This one. This was very interesting to me because I discovered that this, number one, that's not an island. It's actually the Troya Peninsula. This photo is taken in Portugal. It's taken very close. It's probably the private beach of a golf club, the Terra. What was it called? Oh my goodness, I forgot the name. Oh, let me just have a look. Someone said Jen has a good point about the photo of him being old. Now, Jen, what did Jen say? Costa Terra. Thank you, Jen. The Costa Terra Golf Club. Now, that is the resort that's being developed that Brookbanks works for. So Eugenie's husband. So remember there was conversation that they were going to buy something in Portugal. So this is very close to that resort. That resort is very close to the town of Melides, which we saw. Melides means honey. The honey that they produce is lavender honey. So there's so many connections here, like that, yeah. And Jen is absolute. Jen just mentioned that Eugenie and Jack have ties to both Portugal and to Soho House. Yes, because our good friend, Our Recollections May Vary, has done quite a really excellent video about the Soho House, which I am dying to have a chat to Our Recollections May Vary about. But anyway, we'll see if we can do that one day soon. So at first I wasn't sure. What I did feel good about this photo was I thought that this photo was taken in California, because I was wondering if they were the Channel Islands that are just off Montecito and Santa Barbara, but they're not. It's now, I can tell you that is. I posted some stuff about it, like the Google Maps, the Google Earth views, and that beach is in Portugal. Those cliffs are in Portugal, and that's the Troya Peninsula. Okay, let me have a look at. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I don't think we really. So the interesting thing is, and the reason I said it was interesting to me is that so she was in Portugal. Is that strange? No, it's not strange. They obviously have a house in Portugal. If that's true, that was the chat. That was what was reported, that they were going to buy a house in Portugal as part of this development. So that's fine. Absolutely, nothing wrong with that. The thing that I find interesting for Ms. Shapey is, so it's actually, the reason I'm pausing is because what I was about to say is actually Harry said it. Harry has always said that they can't go anywhere. Well, not that they can't go anywhere, that they need security. But there are obviously places in the world they can travel to where security isn't an issue. So I'm going to say that right now. In image number 2, at the very beginning, we have confirmation that security isn't as big as an issue, as big of an issue as what Harry makes out. because Ms. Trust the current. Trust the current and where it takes us. Go with the flow. So let's trust where we're going with this. So they're obviously, they're obviously walking towards, they're going with the flow. They're walking towards the water. But this card tells me that this was actually a little bit of a rush. I mean, probably the posting, she couldn't wait, because this is going with the flow, and in reverse it means that you're not really going with the flow, that something must have happened for her to post this photo in particular. That's what I'm looking at. So I wonder also, I'm going to say, I have a feeling, and I just have a feeling about who took the photo. I have my intuition. This is my intuition. I would question whether Harry was actually here. I think that's part of I feel that there's something here about Harry. This is girls' day out this is girls' day out at the ocean with Yamiya. Now, and there is a second one. We'll talk about the second beach one. I don't believe, in my opinion, I would question, did Harry take this photo? I don't think he did. I think there was a photographer. That's what I feel. That's what I'm kind of feeling. There was a photographer. And so what we need to pick, or what do we need to understand about this photo is, one, there's a path that they're following. It's a path towards Yamiya. It's a path towards the ocean. Now, often, not always, but often you'll see her by the sea giving messages. Right now she has the little girl with her. They're off on a journey. They're off on the path, heading towards. Now, it's interesting that, and I think I did say in my posts before, that this Troya Peninsula in Portugal, if you need to Google in Italian what the word Troia means, because anyway, well, let's just leave it at that. But yeah, this image, I think it's actually quite a powerful image, in the sense that to me, it kind of gives me the energy that I need to ask or find out who took this photo. It's very staged. It's very curated. Yeah. But it also communicates that is security that much of an issue? They're obviously not scared to travel internationally. And so in this part of the world, they can move quite freely. They obviously blend into the background. They've got Yamiya on her side. They've got Mother Energy. So no one knows who they are. Well, that's what this photo tells me, that because they can blend, no one knows who they are. No one cares who they are. So that's kind of interesting. But the father, Rat, has always said that the issue was in the UK. But anyway, just to be fair, that's he did say that is a UK issue. So obviously, security is not an issue anywhere else. That they are quite capable to move freely in countries and live a normal life where no one knows who they are, and if they see them, they're not hassled, etc. Because doesn't seem to be an issue. Let's move to the next one. It does. I'll just have a moment. Does anyone want to make a comment or say anything that they've felt about this photo? Jen said, I thought this might be South California as well. Okay, but I think you proved it's not. Okay, great. Yeah, Jen, I really did think it was. I really thought it was. There's something about those that I thought it was the islands, but I did go onto Google Earth first to walk around South California, in Santa Barbara and Montecito, to actually try and work out those rails and the cliffs. Now, there are sections of near Montecito where there are these kind of cliffs, but it wasn't until later when I sort of really looked at, and I don't know how to pronounce it. The beach is called Gale. That beach is associated with the polo club, and it's standing on the beach of Gale. Now, the other thing that's very curated is that it's quite difficult to take really good photos of this island. So, this peninsula. This, because it's the sea, and it also happens in California too, you get a lot of sea mist, so it has to be a very clear day with the wind blowing in the right direction for you to actually see that that peninsula. And I don't know, it's just my feeling. I'm just wondering whether she wanted that landscape. She wanted that landscape. So she wanted maybe to throw people off the scent. I don't know. Silver said, so there's definitely no need for IPP status. Well, I agree, Silver. Pros and cons. Yeah, so look, we are trying, I am trying to be, that's just something for me. I am trying to be a little bit, I am trying to weigh up the pros and cons, and sort of, I want to be fair, because, a lot of people in the world see these as just photos. I'm looking at them very, very differently. And so I do need to weigh up exactly, what, we're not concrete facts. And this is them building their home. This is building the holiday home. But originally, when I was looking at this photo, and I said, this card to me feels like they were not together. They weren't together. I think she was in Portugal. Now, we know that as ever make sort of promoting recently lavender honey. Maybe this is not a summer holiday. Maybe it must be in summer. It looks like a beautiful summer day, but I don't think it was a holiday. I think it was a business trip. And I think it was her business trip. And she took the kid, a child with her. And while she was there, they must have formulated this idea to take photos with a photographer. I'm just questioning. Okay, let's go to the next photo. Yeah, so is that? obviously same hat. So shopping. There are a couple of things in this photo just purely from a jammy kind of perspective. There's not really much to say about this photo. It's cute. Everything's for sale. I noticed there was a chicken, but like it's the shop. I don't know. I think out of all the photos, this is probably the most inane kind of, I think there's something real about this photo. I'm not saying, and I don't understand what the message is here, except that she's shopping. Shopping, browsing, relaxed. And is that what I'm supposed to take away? Her relaxed. So again, who took the photo? Now, Jamie is not saying that this is all staged. But if it was staged, then I would be looking at these gold orbs. I said to you, always check the center of the photo, the focal point. The focal point is this spoon, is this yellow spoon. Marigold, I'll call that. Marigold. And the chicken looking at the. Now, this is really crazy. I know. Jamie, you are one crazy dude. Really reading something that just, I don't know. But I'm being honest. I'm really pushing myself to work out. But again, it's more about what's not in the photo. What's not in the photo are children. So she doesn't shop. She doesn't go browsing for things, objects, with children. So the children must be. Now, we don't even know at this point. We know there is a girl child with her, but we don't know where that child is at this point in this photo. It's obviously mum going out shopping. Now, what I find, that doesn't read, the energy in this photo doesn't read holiday, because whenever, now we did, as children, we never really went out. We didn't go on holidays that much. My dad loved to fish, so sometimes we would go on a bit of a fishing holiday. If we were on a fishing holiday, we were always with mum. If mum went shopping like this, in this scene, we would be there. Because you're on holiday. Where was she going to leave us? We went with her. So this tells me that she's got, obviously, is it a surprise that there's a nanny? No. Is it? But there's someone looking after the kids. There's someone looking after the kids, and there's a photographer. So we know, we can sort of deduce that this is not a simple browsing in a shop. This is you stand over there. Now you look like, ladies, when you go into shop, when you're on holidays, this is a stupid question. When you're on holidays, do you leave your sun hat on when you walk into shops? I suppose you do. Just a Jen just wrote just a Jen wrote, why do I dislike all her hats? I haven't liked a single one. See, I was drawn to the hat inside the shop, but I suppose in holiday mode, I suppose you do walk into shops with your sun hat on. It's not like men used to take them off in the old days. I suppose women left their hats on. Well, if anyone has a thought about that, ladies, let me know. Archie is taking all the photos since he's such a professional photographer. Oh, just a Jen. That's why she planted that seed all those years ago. That's why she planted the seed. So later, when we look at them, if this question comes up that there's a photographer in, oh, just a Jen. Excellent. Because this leads me on to something that I want to talk to you about in this story, in these curated stories. So yes, just as Jen has mentioned that Archie, while he's still got his nappies on, is an avid photographer, and they bought him some sort of Leica camera. Remember that? Now, I want you to contemplate for a minute. Just stop and think. I know this has got nothing to do with these photos, but I want you to think about, and I want you to think, if you have seen some of our Recollections May Vary's videos recently, she's done a lot of things about the school, the yearbooks, and TRG's also talked about the history of people like Doria and how things are not matching up. Now, something occurred to me, and it happens in these photos where we're looking at, there's things where shadows are cast, we're not sure where the sun is, we're not sure how that shadow comes into being, etc. Is that the right position of the shadows? It's just questioning. There's also rays of sun. You'll see rays of sun, you'll see the kid walking with the sun, all this. We've seen the Apollo connections, but it never occurred to me, one, that over this journey we have come to understand the color, the reddening phase of the alchemical, the creation of the philosopher's stone. There's the black phase, the white phase, and the red phase. So we've come to understand reddening and red, and which happens with their hair, etc. I had never made the connection though. Now remember, her friends, I don't know where this, so anyway, this apparently the friends, I won't say their names right now, but the friends, and one of the friends, the mother with the black fingers and the silver teeth. Yeah, that one. Now, I want to ask you, where did they meet? Where did these children meet? It's so crazy that I never picked this up. They went to a school. Now, the school is real, right? The school is real. But what was the school called? Jam. I just cannot. It's so strange that I was chatting to my friend Happing, and the thought just hit me in the face. They all went to school at a place called the Little Red Schoolhouse. The Red Schoolhouse. Okay. That's an amazing coincidence. Now, here's another one. And it has to do, my friend, Our Recollections May Vary, has done a video about the school album, the photo album, the school, etc. And while she was talking about that, she mentioned the plays. Now, I think TRG and Our Recollections May Vary are on a path. I do think there's something about what they're saying. They're on a path. Totally, I'm here for it. Now, the thing that all of a sudden occurred to me, I just don't know how this slipped before. So I'll ask you and you can type it out amongst yourselves in the comments. So you know that my thought is that the name Archie is associated with Arche or Arche, which is the sun's energy, the rays of the sun, right? Santeria, the Naruba, like the Santeria, Naruba, Nigeria, they believe the sun's energy is called Arche or Arche, and her son is named Archie. Now, we've seen now multiple photographs connecting Archie and the sun. We're going to see it in this set of photographs again. Is that a coincidence? But now I want you to stop for a moment. I want you to think about her father. Now, people win later. I want you to answer this, answer it for me in the comments. Her father, who is her father? Or who are we led to believe is her father? And I want you to tell me in the stories, in the seeds that have been planted, tell me what his job is. Exactly. He's a lighting director. He is a lighting director. He directs the light. He creates the shadows. And someone just put their hand on my shoulder. I have got goosebumps. I just got a wave of goosebumps. I never made that connection. I now would ask, hello, Sarah. Oh my God. Oh my goodness gracious me. That's her. The card just fell out. Her manipulating the fabric of the universe. The father, the lighting director, is a fabrication. Friends of mine in the US. Friends of mine in the US. Please provide proof. Now, I'm just having a thought about the lighting direct thing because I'm having a thought. Is there actually any proof that he worked where he said he worked? Is there any proof he actually got an award? Now, the thing is with awards, sorry. Jamstars, I need to just, as I was thinking about this and the proof, I noticed something in this photo that I've never noticed before, and I want to show you. Can I don't know if I can do, no, I don't think I can. Oh, maybe I can. I'm just going to take a little, I just want to show you something. We were talking about focal point, like what's in the center of, stop. I want to talk to you about the focal point in this story. I know, sorry, I just have to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. I'm just doing it on the spur of the moment. And this is really important. But keep in mind, we will talk about lighting directors soon. I think that's something I need to talk to our recollections about. Let me just take that. It's very small, but what I'm going to do so that you can see, I want to talk about this photo in a minute. I want to do, I can put it on top. Let's do this. Okay, let me just blow this up. I just saw it. I just saw it. Can you see? It's blurry at the moment because I'm going in really hard. Jam stars. Did you see what's on the table? Yeah. They've been placed there. They've been placed there. They're here. So I was talking to you about this spoon and what's in the center, this central grouping. 4 blades. Just a Jen. You know how much I love you? I love it. All of you, Silva, everyone, Sarah, Happink, everyone. I just love that you get it. I love that you get it. So many people would say that we are cray cray. Let me ask this for Margie. Let me answer this question. Who are they there? Who are they for? I think the Athame, it's not that they're necessarily for anyone. I think the Athame. Now notice the other interesting thing is you will notice that in the center of the photo, I'm not exactly sure. There's a lot of spoons in the center, but the chicken and the Athame and these gold orbs lead us into the center of the photo. See the directions that they're leading us to? This doesn't feel like, I don't think that this chicken was actually on the table originally. I think someone placed it there. It doesn't feel right. I feel that this place, like there's placemats with plates, I feel that this plate was placed there intentionally. Hello, Michelle. Do you get that feeling? It's just a feeling I have. Interesting. I love this. I love because I hadn't noticed that before. And I knew that there was something in this photo that that there has to be something here. So I need to think about this a little bit. Oh, Patricia's here. Michelle and Patricia just missed it. But if you watch back, I want you to, if you do watch back, because you just missed a little bit of a revelation about Thomas and the father and his job. But I'm going to get so distracted. I need to move forward. Let's move to the next photo. Oh my God, I'm so excited that you guys are here. I love it. Here we have the sun and the sun and the sun. The arche, the sun. I'm just thinking. Because I think this card is very important, the manipulation of the fabric of the universe. Her work to distort. These are all distortions. I was in a chat. I was in a live. I did catch one of our recollections lives where they talk about this photo, and it could very well be a sunset. I do have to admit that that's probably, yes, that could be the case. Something gave me the feeling that, I don't know why, I think when in where I am in Australia, when I see the sun like this, it often reminds me of morning. Just a Jen gets sunset vibes. Okay. Well, that's okay. Yeah, it could be sunset. I don't know why I thought it was morning. I got a morning vibe, but regardless, it doesn't really matter whether it's morning or night. What's important is the color that the photographer has chosen to filter, and the fact that it's the sun looking at the sun, and we know the rays of the sun in Nigerian, in Yoruba and Santeria, the energy of the sun is arche, or I don't, yeah, the exact pronunciation, arche, and this person that we apparently is in this photo is Archie. What I need, I'm just getting a goosebump attack, because I was going to say to you, the sun is in the center, so that's the focal point. We are led into the photo. We are led into the photo via the boy and these trees that form a line that lead us into the focal point. I'll give you my opinion why I think this is AI. I believe that there is a potential that this could be AI, because you know that I work in design. I design things. In clothing, in the clothing industry. One of the things lately that I've had to do, or, that my work asks, we create things like flyers, social graphics for customers, and we've started using AI. It's just a little bit faster, but it's terrible. It's terrible. It's a nightmare, because AI gets everything wrong. Now, the reason that this caught my eye and why I think it's AI has a terrible habit of adding really stupid things to photos in order to balance the composition. I don't know if any of you have noticed this. And so I've had arguments with AI where I say, I didn't ask you to add a sports bag to this photo. Why did you add it? But I know where it added it in a place where there was space, like empty space, and the AI thought it was necessary to add a design element into the photo, into the image, in order for the image to be balanced. I am going to suggest to you that the reason this branch is here. Now, I know, I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned it before. I know Avid Gardener and other people have mentioned, and yeah, there's no thumb. The thumb's missing. That's another classic trait of the AI. Will get things wrong. The other thing that I think that this AI has gotten wrong, and I think this is probably we'll do the same thing here where we will blow it up, and let me just blow this up. I'll blow it up and take it. Let's go into Photoshop for a second. Interesting, the athames, the knives. We'll talk about this photo when this comes up. Let's just paste this in. I want you... The other thing that really gives this away as being an AI, or the possibility, I won't say absolutely that it is, it's actually, yes, that, I can see the thumb. The thing there's two things that are very disturbing about this recreation. One, how the child holds this branch. Can you see that? Can I zoom in? Oh, we can do it. Sorry. Let me just... it's really visible when you start moving very close in to see. His thumb is on the other side of the branch. Like, this thumb shouldn't be on this side. If you're holding something, see how my hand is? Like if I'm holding, do I have a pen or something? Like I have my glasses. Why would I hold it? Why would I hold it like that? They're going to fall out. That's weird. It doesn't make sense. It's an oak branch. Let's have a look. Someone said, what type of branch is it? Very good question. I'm not very good with botany. Is that oak? For the European, like for anyone in the Northern Hemisphere, or anyone actually, maybe some of the Australians will know. Is that oak? I'm just wondering what this tree is. I just noticed another thing in this photo that's kind of strange. Yeah, Happink just said the child's barefoot. But Happink, I have to say, as a child, I hardly ever wore shoes. And we lived on a market garden with gravel roads and, going through the swamp, chasing cows and stuff. Like I very rarely wore shoes. I only wore shoes if I went out we went out. So that's not I don't know if that's a huge deal, but I will talk to you about the feet. So this tree, maybe it's just been badly pruned, but notice how the tree branches just stop in midair, and it could be, we've got 1, 2, 3. So all these branches just are sawn off in midair. It's probably just a bad pruning job. But anyway, I just thought I just wanted to see that. So yeah, that is definitely, they're definitely branches that stop mid-flight. There's a branch there, there's a branch here, branch there. So these branches have been trimmed. I don't know if that's the same tree though. Let's talk about feet. I know you're concerned, a lot of you are concerned about gravel and bare feet. I don't have any photos. Like when I was a child growing up on a market, we had a market. Well, my grandfather had a market garden. He had cows. We had the gravel road, like to get there. I mean, we had a gravel road throughout the property. And my sister and I, we were always playing, in the garden, chasing the cows and stuff. So we were always walking on gravel. Admittedly, the gravel here in Australia, the red gravel, is round. This would be a little bit more difficult to walk on because it's actually what we call bluestone. That would hurt your feet. But we do need to talk about the feet and the shape of the feet. And I want to draw your attention to this leg. We're going to see in these photos, I want you to pay attention to the legs, because the legs are a little bit of a giveaway that the AI has trouble rendering legs and feet. You're going to see very strange. Now, that you're going to say, well, that's because, her DNA, blah. So her DNA, well, it's probably highly likely that it's not her DNA. Secondly, um, her yes, her feet are corrupted at the front part. The heel of this child and the ankle, it's very strange, but it's actually the angle. The AI always tries to suggest motion. You never really, if you, I don't know, I'm just trying to be careful about what I say. I have a feeling that these AI photos, the AI is always trying to show them in motion. You never see them standing normally. Think about all the photos that you've seen. Have they ever stood normally? Even when they're wrapped around their mother, like when she's holding them or whatever, or when Harry's with them, do their feet and legs look strange? Like we've got missing thumbs, we've got hands that can't hold branches, we've got very strangely pointed feet and, thin ankle, thin heel, enormous heel, gigantic ankle, cankle. Heavens to me. Anyway, let's I'll just going to delete. I'll delete this. Now, stay with me on that topic. I'll zoom in. It's very blurry. Now, tell me what you notice. Tell me what you notice about the heels of these children. Can you see a similarity in you have a foot in motion? I mean, there's water there, so they cover. You have a foot in motion. You have a heel in you have a stationary foot and a heel in motion. You have a stationary foot and a heel in motion, caught exactly at the same time. So I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's kind of coincidental. And from what we just saw in that other photo, I just think that's kind of interesting. Also, there's always, I can't show you my shoulders, there's always a distortion, like their body's being twisted or they're in some sort of motion. Here we see an arm moving back, like this twisted torso with a shoulder moving forward, following that arm. We've got a shoulder moving back. Now, this is where I think the AI is trying to balance the composition. I saw someone laughing. I need to, Happink said, I cannot believe that this little prince and princess are growing up in the equivalent of Jammy's grandpa's market garden. Well, they do live in a market. They have to forage for their own desserts. We lived on a market garden. We had cows. We had a couple of sheep. We had cows. So we had milk. We had everything. We grew veggies and we had apricots and almonds and plums and everything. We never foraged for our desserts. Mum was quite happy to cook. What a bullshit story that was. Oh my God. Okay, let's go back. So what do we reckon? We'll just move on. One before we go, is this an oak? I've got a feeling that one of these is an oak. I don't know why. Are these oak leaves? Because if they are oak, I want to remind you that these settings, the amount of settings that are in gardens or woods or thickets where we see oaks and fruit trees and all, the oak is important because of the Oaken King, the green man, Cernunnos, king oak. So it's very interesting to me. That's why I don't know that that is an oak tree. I'm going to give it, I have to do more research. Yeah. Okay, next photo. Oh, Miletus, this so this photo again, I think it's the creepy thing is this photo is this drawing, but anyway, this is just a it's a reference point to let us know where she was. So now we can connect Melides with honey, and also very close to the golf club, the development, the home. I'll move. Okay, now again, let's just notice feet. There's not really much to say about this photo, except for the fact that that hedge and these bush, that landscape is, to me, in my opinion, Santa Barbara, Montecito. This photo was taken at home in California, if at all. What I mean by that is, if I said to you in the little video that I made, I said to you to watch the shadows. So water rat here has see how he's got a very strong shadow on his rippling muscular Tarzan back, right? He is so Tarzan right now. But because he's just got such a massive physique, that his muscles cast shadows. So the sun's coming from this side and casts this extraordinary shadow. So it seems like the sunlight's quite strong. The thing that kind of not worries me, it's just a little bit interesting, is that the shadow doesn't really fall. This would be in total shadow. Yeah, just a general. That's what I'm just questioning whether that is. It could be a body double. I don't know if that is actually a rat. So the shape, but let me just. This is another one. Sorry, I'll just take a screen grab of this. Let's have a look at the shadows in this, because this is where the photographer has played in Photoshop to lighten that out. And I'll explain something to you. Let's have a look at this. This one is fun. And what I'll do, first of all, let's blow this right up, because I want you to look, again, that I've worked in clothing design. I designed children's wear at one point in my life for an Australian children's wear brand, designer brand. And what I will do, I feel this child is is older than 5 years. Let's turn the image the right way around. I was just looking at the straps. There's something. Well, she's flying in the air. But can anyone tell me what this print is about? What is the theme of this yardage print? This fabric. Can anyone see what's printed on her swimsuit, and why that would be of interest to Jam and Jam Stars? Just leaving it with you for a second until you might not. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see. I think you can see it from a distance. Palm trees. Palm trees and, well, there's beach umbrellas, there's palm trees. Palm trees, and I just find that very interesting. I get it. Like, I get this this placement, except, so see the shadow, there's no shadow here. The shadow does not work. There's light, because remember we turned it upside down. So this part of the swimsuit should be in a very strong shadow according to the back of Water Rat. But it's not. This has been blown up, and I think, oh, sorry, it's been lit up for us for, I don't know. I don't think she lit it up for I don't think she lit it up for me. I mean, not for me, but like for people to look, because most people wouldn't make the connection. But think about how appropriate this is. Well, I don't know. I was going to say something quite controversial to do with an island, because we've talked about palm trees a lot. We've talked about palm trees. She's talked about palm trees. There are palm trees, during the Jam Scam journey. We've also done analysis of an island where there's palm trees, planted intentionally. So we probably need to do a video a little bit about palm trees again and their significance. But it does surprise, well, it wasn't until I went in really close to look at this to work out that, that she likes this palm tree print. We'll go back. We need to speed it up. The other thing about this photo that's very interesting is I find it very difficult to believe. One, I know it's dangerous. People have spoken about that. I find it very difficult the way because his arms are out in front of him, that he would have the strength to throw that child into the air like this. That would take a great deal, like the momentum that was needed, and the arm strength to do that. I don't believe it for a second that if they had bobbed, if she had stood on his shoulders, because that's what we did as children too. We used to stand on people's shoulders, and they would use the force of their legs to project you up. So, so I understand that. I don't know if you can actually do this whilst you are standing, and I don't know who this person is standing here. I doubt that's Shapey. Would she get wet? I doubt it. I don't think. No, she wouldn't get wet. There's no photos of her getting wet. I don't think the crone can get wet. Anyway. Here we are. So this is the photo. We've talked about this photo. And this is why I believe there's a segregation. Like, my thought is this. Sorry, I'm pausing because I'm trying to I'm looking at the photo. I'm just trying to, my message. Let me just quickly paste this. I hope you don't, I'm doing a lot of cutting and pasting, but I think it's important when we look at these to my attention is drawn. There's something not right. I'm telling you now, there's something not right about the footsteps, and I don't know the footprints, and I'm not sure what that is. remember I said to you that my thought is that she's in Portugal. This to me communicates that, again, she's on her own. Like, if I was to put it in words, in this photo, I'm on my own. She's separated, she's segregated from, and that's why I feel, after looking at the feet, and also this person here. Now, this is very blurry. I can't really. Can I do it if I do this? Does that look like water rat? Does that look like water rat? You know, there were photos from a couple of years ago, the 4th of July. And this is the other thing. This child, I don't know, there's something about this child's size. One time, she's bigger, she's shorter, whatever. Like, I'm not convinced. Sometimes she's taller than the boy. This time she's shorter. Well, not that she's taller than the boy. Sometimes she's sort of really, up near his shoulders. Like, I just feel there's something not right here. There's something not right about Rat. And the back of his head, I don't know if that's how Rat looks. But if anything, if this is a manipulation of fabric and time, can you see what I see? Bloody hell. Can you see what I see? Now, I want you to can I get some answers in the comments? You're at the beach. You got a swimsuit on. You've got a swimsuit on, so is your intention to get wet? But I've never seen you get wet. But can you see what I see? We can't go too close. She's wearing the Cartier watch she's wearing the love bracelet. She's wearing the screwed bracelet. She's wearing the other bracelet. There's 3 objects there, and she's wearing the watch. Can someone just, people have said, like, why is she wearing shoes? Yeah. But so ladies, would you wear, if you had a Cartier gold watch, would you wear that to the beach and the bracelet? Let me know in the comments. Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Jen said no. And I'm pretty sure the other ladies my jam stars will probably, Silver Moon said no. That's very, very strange to be wearing that gold jewelry. But can I just remind the jam stars of, so let's look at, we'll try and make that. Really, like, this photo is about the ocean, and the ocean is Yamaya. So when I saw this, my interpretation is, when in Santeria, when they go to the beach they go to the beach to perform blessings and cleansing. She doesn't need it. Shapey doesn't need blessing. There's no way she's not going in the water with those shoes, and she's not going in the water with that jewelry. She's there to observe the blessing. She's there to observe the cleansing. She's there as a practitioner. In my opinion, the Santera, the godmother. Um, Beautiful beach. I mean, I love this photo in terms of the beach and that. Like, I mean, the only thing wrong with this photo is all the AI in it. But beautiful beach, gorgeous water, love it. So Anya is shapy. But what I'm not, it's all the other stuff. It's all the other BS in it that she just can't help herself. She's there to watch. Yeah. And this, I don't know, like if we've not going to spend too much time looking at I just know that it just doesn't make sense. But I think how can I show you this? I think this half of the photo is real. I think she's really there. She's really there, but her intention was not to get wet. I think this is AI. This is, well, if anything was, in my opinion, you would want to have some space between you, like show some different, like, because then the AI can create and not have to deal with what's real. These were added. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't know if that's factual or not. But anyway, I know that you will check with your intuition and have a look at that photo later and tell me what you think. Okay. I will do one. I should ask the card about. Let's ask the card. Oh. The winged caduceus. Communications. Communication. News travels fast. This photo is about putting the winged caduceus is about sending messages, quick, fast messages, fast communication. This photo, in my opinion, according to the card, is about a very quick communication that they're on holidays. And so that's why they're, so she must have, I do think she went there. She must have been there for another reason. It's not because of a summer holiday. And we see, so very close, we see two photos. Cleansing, as I say to you, I don't think they're actually there. But anyway, if it is about Yamaya and about witnessing the cleansing and overseeing the protection, isn't it very strange that we would get a photo? The next photo in the series is lavender, and lavender is about protection. I don't know who picked it, but also don't forget that Melides what it is, Mel honey, and they also produce lavender honey in that part of Portugal. Oh dear. But yeah, there's been a lavender build-up prior to these photos coming up, prior to the trip to the UK apparently. Again, the shadows. I think the distance. The distance between, there's something about the distance anyway. I think if she was in Portugal, I have a feeling that Rat was in the UK because food for thought. I was going to say, does Archie live in the UK? She went to Portugal to visit the sea with Yamiya, with a girl, with the little girl, and Archie was in the UK visiting the boy. Food, we can keep that. Food for thought. And that's why in this photo we have these distances. Again, I'm not sure what these trees are, if they're flame trees or what they are. Are they oaks? I don't know. Is this actually Althorpe? I don't know. If it is Althorpe, though, I have a feeling that if this is Althorpe, then the only part of this, I was going to show you with my hands. The only part of this photo that is possibly real is this, but that means that that Rat took the son to Althorpe and they took a photographer. Margie, yeah, she said, do you think she's allowed in the UK? I don't know. You know what, Margie? I don't know if it's a question of if she's allowed us, and would she dare show her face? So this is another thing. Oh, okay, great, Margie. So this is one of those things where I don't know if she actually realized that by posting this, she sort of confirmed that, I mean, they are at Althorpe, it's a private property, but it means that they were moving around the UK quite okay. They didn't have any problems getting to Althorpe. They were okay. They were moving around. Did anyone notice them? Nah. Did anyone care? No. And yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Let me think, now I don't know enough about royal properties. I don't know anything about royal properties. So there might be people watching that know much more than I do. What are the gardens at Balmoral like? What do they look like? We might have to do a dive. I might have to do my old Google Maps and check out if these gardens are like this. Okay, let me move because I sort of look and I start to gaze and I get stuck. The other thing was that I just had a feeling, I've just had a notion. It could it could very well be Althorpe. I have a feeling I've seen Shapey in a similar garden before. And I'm not sure why I sense that. And I'm not sure if anyone in the comments knows the photos I'm talking about. I think she was on holiday in Spain with Mucus Anderson. And I think there were photos of her taken. And for some reason, I get a feeling of this path with the hedges. Anyway, yeah, so I'm not 100% sure about Althorpe, but I suppose I can sit down when I've got some time with a cup of coffee and have a look at, and maybe go back to those Spain photos. Oh, I love this photo because the other morning, I was sitting here thinking, why would she post this? What's the reason? And I had a little bit of a chat with my friend Happink. We were having a little bit of a chat about what could the possible meaning of this photo, why this photo. Now, I always thought, and it was because of these bollards here, these cat's eye posts, that this was in the UK. And then the other morning, I was just, I thought, what I'll do, let's have a look. Now, I had a bit of a, travel around on Google Earth, And it just so happens that I stumbled across that this is a loch. It's called Loch Clowney. And Loch Clowney is in Scotland. And this road here is the A87. And you can actually go onto Google Earth, go to the A87, and you can travel. If you travel north, you will come across this loch, and you'll move along this loch. Now, the question is when, and the question is who took this photo. I don't know who took the photo. What I know is that what I am meant to believe is that they were in Scotland. Now this is where we need to go very jammy. We need to get very, very jammy with this photo and sort of go to places where no one else is going to go. And we have to sort of just, if people think we're crazy, it's okay. I'm going to go totally jam on you. And I will suggest that this photo is about reflection. We see a body of water. Where does Jam go for walks? He goes around a lake. And the revelation of lakes and ponds are actually nature's mirrors. So we've got a person who loves a good reflective mirror. Again, photography. What's this? Really, I mean, it's up high, but really the center of the photo is the sun. The sun's reflection on the water. But see how they were very, very, very clever in showing a ray of the sun. Now, we've seen the ray of the sun before, and it's in, I'm going to, I know what I'll do. Yeah, I think I can duplicate this page, yes. And we will go to, let me go to her photos, Instagram. Let me go back. Because we've seen this ray of sun before. There it is. The ray of sun. Again, mother and daughter, Yamaya at the sea. Earlier we saw she did exactly the same thing. So she loves having connection with the sea, with her daughter. Now there's supposed daughter. Here we go again. At the beach with shoes she hasn't got a swimsuit on, but she's at the beach with her gold jewelry. We've seen that before. Isn't it interesting seeing that again, mother and daughter at the sea? Archie and the sun, palm tree, path, garden. There is something I want to talk to you about the Virgin Mary. I don't know if I'll do it today. That is something we need to talk about. It's a little bit, the subject matter, I need to think about it. It's a little bit, so I love these ones too, where she's preparing an altar. Okay, let's go back to, so what I was saying, reflection, mirror, the Great Lake, the loch, Scotland. Now, ray of the sun. So the way that I read this, the message to me, if it was a message to me, well, I would suggest that Scotland is somewhere we need to pin it. Something happened in Scotland. Something's happening in Scotland. There is a reason for visiting Scotland, for driving around Scotland. They're driving around Scotland. Now, if it's a summer holiday, again, one of the things about posting something like this is that lady, I shouldn't even call her lady. Bruh, are you telling me that you drove along the A87 and stopped at the side of the road? Because I have gone down this A87 in Google Maps, and that is not a parking spot. It's not a lookout. You know, they have like little places where you can stop, park safely, and take a photo and look at the lock. This is on the side of the road, and you can see that the person is standing on the road taking this photo. I don't know who took it. I don't know if she took it. I don't know if he took it, but someone took it standing on the side of the road. Now, this could be someone else's photo. This could be the photographer's photo. But anyway, let's take it as you're on a summer holiday with the family in Scotland. Beautiful vista. Yeah, I can understand you stopped. But that means you stopped on a public road in a car. So you're driving in a car in the UK, a couple of hours away from Balmoral, and no one noticed you. No one noticed you and your kids. You're on a summer holiday. So it's quite obvious that security is not an issue. If you can get in a car and drive in public, then what's all the hoo-ha about? Now, I said to you earlier in this video that you're in Portugal. It might happen in Portugal or France, people don't notice you. But the whole point of all this BS was that it was unsafe in the United Kingdom. And you're standing on the side of the road taking a photo. It just blows my mind. And we know that it is Scotland. I mean, I encourage you, go to Google Earth, type in Loch Clowney, and just go scroll in and go along the road. Go along the A87, and you will see, especially this clump of trees here, you will see as you move down that this is actually number one. It is Scotland. It is Loch Clowney, and it is the A87, and you will see these reflective bolsters. So just to finish off this, my interpretation is just Jen asked, is it Loch Clowney? I think, no, it's spelt Cluanie. And it's a couple of hours drive it's a beautiful drive from Balmoral. So, yeah, correct. Thank you, Happy. Scotland. Now, because we're looking at a lake, reflections. There's reflections on two levels. Reflections on the bolsters, reflection off the water, the great mirror. And it's the ray of sun. What is a ray of sunshine? It's an arche. It's an archie. So does this photo, this is what I was trying to workshop with Happink. Does this photo actually have something to do with Archie? I mean, it's got something to do with Ake. It's got something to do with the sun. It's got something to do with rays of sunshine, rays of sunlight. And the rays of sunlight in Santeria, in Yoruba, is about the creation of life. That's the energy, is the energy that creates life. So are we looking at a pictogram about the creation of life, number one? Arche, Archie, creation, Scotland? Or is that where Archie lives? Does he live somewhere in Scotland? Now, for all of you that watch, I don't know. I don't know, but was there, I don't know if this has to do with rat or whether it has to do with the uncle, but did someone get someone pregnant in Scotland? Am I understanding that right? Did someone that lived, was there a village or a place near Balmoral that someone got someone pregnant? I don't know. I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it confused with a different story. It just was interesting to me that they're not that far from Balmoral. I'm not saying they went to Balmoral, but if they did, and this is the second part of this very interesting conversation about driving around the UK on their own and not being noticed, is if this is July or June or July in the UK, in Scotland, Balmoral is open to the public. You see where I'm going with this? So if they did a little bit of a holiday road trip and they went to Balmoral, they went to Balmoral while it's open to the public. So the interesting thing to me is she's made points like, I don't think she would go there while the family's there, right? So did she go there when it was open to the public? Number one. Number two, if you did, Shapey, my darling, if you did go there because you were busting, itching to go, I'm just saying, you're the one that put the photo out there. So let's go down this track. If you went to Scotland and didn't go to Balmoral, but I've got a funny feeling you did you go when it was open to the public? Now, if you did, and there were visitors there and you walked around and you had a look at Balmoral because you'd never been there, how the hell, you must feel pretty confident. Like, how did you walk around and no one noticed who you were? I mean, they probably didn't. See, this is really what's very interesting. It's often this thing we say, it's right before our eyes. They were placed, they put her there under your nose, because no one would ever expect. And isn't that funny that in Cinderella, is it Cinderella or Snow White? No, Snow White. The crone has a book. Her book is called The Book of Disguise. And that's just that. I don't know. See, the thing is, this is really interesting because she's dug the hole because she posted it. So she wants us to think that she was there. She may not have actually been in Scotland. And so option 2 is that she wasn't in Scotland, but she's telling us someone was. Someone was in Scotland. I think she maybe got someone to take this photo for her, and then she posted it because she wants someone to know. Now, again, it's like a bit like the question I think Margie asked about, who are the Athames for? Who is this photo for? The photos for William. Who is this supposed to look like? It's supposed to look like William. I think she has an unhealthy obsession with sending William messages, but Jam Stars, the thing that we need to remember is that William sends her messages back. Example, the strawberry DNA. These photos are they're not for me, they're not for you, they're for William. They're not even for Chuck. Chuck's paying for them. Chuck. Now, if we go down this route, because I need someone to just confirm for me because I'm not quite sure, is Dumfries' house in Scotland, and is Dumfries' house, or the foundation Dumfries, does that have to do with DNA, with fertility? As again, I don't know. I'm just asking the question. I just need to work that out. Is that fertility clinic, does it have roots in Scotland? That's what I'm just thinking about. Silver Moon answered, why would William answer her? Well, it's not, I think they need to communicate without the public sort of, so it's in front of your nose, but I think William would, I think he's sending her a message about testing the children. So this photo about Scotland is, I feel it's about DNA. I feel it's about creation. It could be about where the kid lives, and that the kid's father was on his way to see him or was there with him. That's why the photo in the garden walking with the flowers, it could be Althorpe. They could have driven to Althorpe. They could have gone there. But I was just wondering, are there any public gardens in Scotland that look like that? Someone said, yes, Dumfries' house is near Glasgow. All right, I just need to confirm. Let me see what Margie said. Oh, Jamie, there were stories put out this week that she's been going out in disco. Really, Margie? Really? Oh, wow. I love it. Yeah, I know it's, and for Silver Moon, I know it's kind of hard to believe. See, I think we need to, could I just, you're, sorry, I understand people there needs to be a good person in this story. There really does. We need that. We need that hope that there is someone good in this story. And I totally get it that Catherine and William, I personally tend to have a softer spot for Catherine. And William, I have to wait and see. But I totally understand that Jam Stars, I totally get it. I just try not to gush over him like over Will, because I need to see how this distortion plays out. I need to understand what's going on. I don't have a clear picture. All I know is that Will has sent her messages. One of them, very plain as day, is the testing of the strawberry DNA. Very plain as day. But other than that, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I get it. But yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say it's impossible that William wouldn't do it, especially if that's how she communicates. Let me just read another comment. Margie again. I thought she was trying to say that's why we didn't see her in the UK, but it could. Oh, yeah. I think we didn't see her in the UK because I don't have a feeling. I feel that she wasn't there, but I do. Well, Rat was there. He was there because of the court case. So Rat was definitely there. He appeared in the court case. I'm just going to, sorry, Margie, I'm just going to ask my Italian cards about, just want a bit of, it's little, 3 of Swords, the plan, the binding plan. I would hold off. I'm going to hold off. I feel this plan and communication is for the 3 people in the story, but they're all tied together. One's going to look to be doing the right thing. The other 2 are doing the other 2 are doing covert. But the plan, can I just say, when I say this, it's not that it's not that they've planned it all together. I think there's a plan that involves the 3, but it's more that they know about the plan. They know about it. So it looks like they're working together, and they possibly are working together. But when we say working together, I think we just need to be cautious. That's what I'm going to say. I don't think that one's going to look like they're doing the right thing. One's going to look like, and these are swords, so it's plans and decisions. It's also warfare. It's also weaponry communication. Oh, weaponry communications. The pen is mightier than the sword. These are about so maybe that's where I'm getting that thing of that. There's 3 of them communicating. There's 3 of them like there's Dad, there's Rat, there's Will, and there's the employee. What does Silver Moon say? Other readers say that Charlotte will have to fight Ratbag, but will have a longer... Oh, they're talking about the Rains. Yeah. You're talking about Rains. I was going to suggest something. Oh my goodness gracious. Jam Stars, we've been here like 2 hours. Are you all okay? God, it's taken. We've been on this rant. We've just been going full hog. Let me just quickly. Oh, there's so much here. But you've seen this kid looks like plastic. I just can't resist. I have to do this. Look, anyway. I hope you're still enjoying, even though it's been a long time. I hope you've got time to, but you can watch it back, I suppose. Let me just quickly, now, remember how I told you that AI gets things wrong? This photo is, this t-shirt is meant, this t-shirt is this t-shirt. Now, I see this badge, this patch. So I want you to notice that patch, but notice the dark outline and the word England. It's an England soccer team, and it's So he's got this T-shirt. This photo, he's wearing the same T-shirt. Notice the badge, but notice the print. The print is slight. The AI couldn't get that right. It couldn't get the print right. Also, when you zoom in very close, this child starts to look like a mannequin. There's something, it's very, hang on, there we go. There's something unusually plastic and fake about his skin texture. But the real thing, the actual thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, see how this plane is parked. It's parked. There's like rubbish here. I'm not sure what these things are, but there are 3 cars parked here. One, 2, 3. They're parked. There's a car park of some description. So I will go back to the original photo. So you can see little windows here. There's an air conditioner and a little window. It looks like the back of a butcher shop, a back of a pizza shop. Oh, but anyway, let me. I just think that was hilarious. Like the fact that there's, has anyone lost an airliner? Has anyone seen an airliner parked in some sort of at the back of a shop because someone's looking for it? And so this is the last one. So we're nearly finished, Jam Stars. Again, the framing device, it's very interesting that she faded everything out to focus on Mamma Mia. But let's do this again. It's so funny. We've looked at so many photos. Again, let's take a look at this photo. It's the last one. Let's just do it for, let's delete that. We can delete that. Let's do a blow up. Now you tell me, Jam Stars, what's in the center of this photo? I know you're going to say Mamma Mia the dog. What else? Let me see if I can go further. Oh, look, Jam Stars. 3 bracelets. The Cartier what? Oh, so she's been for a swim and she's suntanning. Does her hair look wet? Don't know. It's got this funny bun again. There's something weird about this bun. Something very weird about the bun. I don't know if she's wet. And there's this person here, this woman, a blonde woman. I think there's actually a couple of people there. They look blonde. I'm not sure if that's a person, but this is definitely a blonde woman. I don't know. Is that Gwyneth Paltrow? And we've got Mamma Mia the dog, but notice how, so the center of the photo is, again, Diana. Now, you call me crazy, call me cray-cray, call me jammy, call me whatever you like. There are a few photos in this set that, to me, are Diana related, and that has to do with the jewelry that is in the center of the photo, which is the focal point of the photo. Do you get it? All of them, the jewelry is exposed. What is it exposed to, my dear Jam Stars? Exposed to sunlight. What does the sunlight do? It energizes. It recharges. I'm going to make myself bigger. It energizes. It cleanses. We've seen cleansing. We've seen protection. We've seen lavender. We've seen the gold jewelry in the sun. We've seen the sun. We've seen the sun's rays. We've seen the Archie. We've seen Arche. We've seen Archie. We've seen creation. We've seen references to creation, to cleansing. Are we crazy? Are we crazy? How can 12 photos all have a very similar message? Is that an accident? Or are we just that delulu that we will just make shit up just to... Well, I don't make any money. I'm not monetized, so I'm not making any money. I'm just interested. It's patterns. Perceiving the patterns. Seeing the phases, the patterns, and that's what these 12 photos, that's what we've been doing in this video. Emerging patterns, universal cycles. Appreciate its complexities. So, over time is the great teacher. Over time, we, you, me, Jam Stars, have been tuning our eye into the communication. We saw the Three of Swords. There is communication. The communication we haven't really seen a lot of is the communication from will. Now, we should pay more attention to Chuck, because the employer, he's also sending out, I don't think people have really, it's a little bit more scarier. Like, I think Chuck, communication with Chuck and the patterns of Chuck need to be investigated. But my favorite card was the manipulation card, the universal manipulation. Oh my God, how funny was that? Thank you, Aurea Concilia. I love you. Now, I'm just going to quickly... Okay, one last one. Little parting message for my Jam Stars. Little parting message. These ones flew sort of flying out. She's the high priestess. The high priestess and the battle of ideas. She's a dark one. A dark one. She's a darkie, and she's out to create battles. Battling her ideas. Making sure these photos are an art. They are a tool of the high priestess in reverse, the dark princess. Priestess. Oh, I said princess. The duchess, the priestess. The only thing she hasn't done is painted her fingers black. But anyway, my friends, I'm going to leave it there. I've taken you away from your life for 2 hours, but I totally enjoyed it. I loved it. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. I know it was very impromptu. It was you only had a half an hour to know that it was on. So there'll be a lot of people that didn't realize, but they'll be able to watch and look back. So maybe after this, there might be other things that occur to us that come back to us. So let me say thank you. Have a wonderful week. And I did make a little video. I did a little video. I was going to do it as a short. It was about Diana. It was a really lovely one. I really loved it. It's a poem one. And I worked on this poem and I did it. But I can't publish it because in the middle of it, there's this gigantic glitch. And the glitch happens when I show the face of Shapey. I introduce Shapey, and there's this total glitch, and I've re-recorded it. I've lost the actual script that I had, and so I can't really publish it. And so I have now re-record. I've done it 4 times, and exactly when the face comes up, there's a glitch. So I don't understand what's happening with the computer, with the program, why there's this sound glitch in the middle of it. So I am going to take it as that I'm not meant to publish it. So I just wanted to share with you that the glitch witch, as soon as the computer saw its dial, saw its face, the computer said no. So I'm going to take that on board. I'm not going to do it. But I might, let me see how I go today. I've got a bit to do today. I'm going to be cooking and stuff. So let me do my cooking, and then maybe in the afternoon I'm going to sit down and I'll do another video. So once again, thank you, my darlings. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed, and we will be back. We'll be back very shortly. Stay safe. Bye.